Last time we covered all of the Mushroom Cup tracks and figured which one was the best track from that department. But today, we will be covering all of the Flower Cup tracks and deciphering which is the best track from all the cups. Granted, you probably all know what that is, but for those who don't, then stay tuned. But we're in for something alright, as we have a lot of Mario Circuits to cover in these Flower Cups. But if you guys are ready to endure Mario Circuit after Mario Circuit, make sure to leave a like on the video. That'd be very highly appreciated. But with that, let's jump into these, shall we? Starting off this video is going to be Super Mario Kart's Flower Cup. And kicking off that game's cup is Choco Island 1. Now, in case you don't know, I am a sucker for anything chocolate, especially Nutella. But I hate to say it, but this course is kind of bland. Not the worst, mind you, but this course literally has ramps, and that's it. Granted, the background looks nice, but it's just kind of boring. Which is saying something, considering that this is the second cup in the game. So, as much as I love the theming here, unfortunately, it's going to go into low B tier. Next up, we have Ghost Valley 2. A fairly popular track due to its inclusion in Wii's Retro Selection. But as for the original, I just think it's fine enough. It's good, but nothing to make it stand out against some of the other courses in this game. It's at least better than the first Ghost Valley, but not by much. But the course itself is at least a little bit more varied. Like, there's now cracks in the track's layout, and you do have to be careful, because you could have a chance of falling off like me. And then falling blocks are a bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah, I do kinda like Ghost Valley 2. It's not great, but still a solid course. So, it's gonna go just above Choco Island 2 in low B tier. Donut Plains 2 is not a good course. That may just be my skill issue with this game, but I seriously do not like playing on this course. Some parts of this course are way too narrow, and why are there so many multi-balls? I get that it's a plains track, and I get that it's a Flower Cup and the difficulty starts to intensify as the game goes on, but I don't know. I don't have that much to say on this course at all. And this is where the game's poor controls really continues to get aggravating. So, for the first time in this video, we have a D tier course. Hate me for calling this a skill issue all you want, but that is just how I feel about this game, let alone this course. Bowser Castle 2 is absolutely brutal. By that, I mean I hate this track. One of the worst in this game, and probably the worst we'll cover for Super Mario Kart so far. Everything about the layout sucks. For one, the dwarfs are aggravating to avoid, especially during the end with the ramps, because one bump and you're going in that lava. It takes forever to respawn. The main twist it has before the ramp section is absolutely confusing to traverse, and it's completely obligatory to even find a good route. And worst of all, there's a route on the left-hand side that just straight up leads you into a dead end. And it's even disguised as a regular turn. That has got to be the biggest troll route ever in the entire series. And I've seen someone making troll levels and routes in Mario Maker 1 and 2. Well, okay, you can clear that jump with a feather, but still though. And the fact that this and VC1 haven't even come back in the mainline entry yet since Super Circuit just grinds my gears. Because as bad as this course is, it has a lot of potential. Like, I've seen a custom track of this for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it looks way better than SMK's version. But yeah, easily the worst of Super Mario Kart so far. And as a result, it is sitting in F tier. And to end off this game's Flower Cup, we have the new reigning king as the most recurring course in the entire series, Mario Circuit 3. How it keeps coming back is beyond me. But honestly, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about the Mario circuits in this game that kinda eases me. Yeah, it's probably one of the weakest ones of the four due to it being constantly being remade, but I don't know. The layout is neat, the music is really good, and is, by the way, probably the second best song in Super Mario Kart. I like that one part where there's an absurdly sharp turn and you have to brake force traverse it. That's actually saying a lot, considering how much I disliked Donut Blades 2's turns. But yeah, not too much else to say. MC3 is probably a low B tier, but only slightly below Ghost Valley 2. And it's ironic because it and Ghost Valley 2 are a Wii, so I guess that's something. But yeah, that was SMK's Flower Cup. Ghost Valley 2 was just barely able to make it out victorious. And I say barely because most of this game's courses aren't that good. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what MK64's Flower Cup has to offer. Starting off, Mario Kart 64's Flower Cup is Toad's Turnpike. I'm sorry, but this course is boring. And not just that, but the cars in this version are kind of excruciating to avoid. Granted, they weren't as bad as when I played this course in time trials, but in Grand Prix, oh, they are something alright. But they are especially annoying to try and dodge in mirror mode. Please, do not get me started on that. Because they are literally coming at you instead of going the other way. Like, come on, Nintendo. I guess the music and visuals are nice, but this is literally Figure 8 Circuit before Figure 8 Circuit. Granted, it's better than that course, but it's still a D tier course. On a much more positive note, Frappe Snowland is actually alright. It's honestly one of the prettiest Mario Kart 64 courses out there visually, and I might even consider it the best course of Mario Kart 64. The song is catchy, the snowman make for an interesting obstacle, and I do like the ice statues of Mario and Yoshi in some parts of the track. Clear improvement over Vanilla Lake, which we'll get to soon enough. I really like the cute detail of the snow falling down. Generally makes this course so comfy to play on. So yeah, not too much else to say. Frappe Snowland is sitting comfortably in mid-B tier. Next up is Choco Mountain. This is basically what Choco Island 1 wishes it was. I really do enjoy this course. I found it surprisingly good. Granted, it doesn't really have that much going for it, but there's just something about it that kinda gives me fuzzy vibes. The music is really good, even if Block 4 and Double Deck do share it. Which I do find strange, since I think they should have gone for the same battle mode theme for all 4 battle maps. But that's another story. And I do like the hilly turns it has. And I do like the element of being able to fall backwards onto a part of the track we were on. Even if there's guardrails on that part in 50cc, especially time trials. So in general, Chocolate Mountain is a nice course, but I think it just barely sits below Frappe Snowland in mid-B tier. But it's still a solid course regardless. And to end off this game's Flower Cup is our second Mario Circuit in the video. Yes, this is still a Mario Circuit, people. Just because it says Raceway instead of Circuit doesn't change anything. But anyway, Mario Raceway. Another solid course. Not as much as the previous two, but it's still better than Toad's Turnpike, that's for sure. The layout is pretty enjoyable, I would say. And despite it being the most reused theme out of any Mario Kart 64 song, the music here is admittedly still really good to hear. It's definitely one of my favorite circuit themes in the entire series. But this being the first 3D Mario circuit in the series, this is solid. Not much else to say, so it's gonna sit comfortably right next to Chocolate Mountain in low B tier. And that is MK64's Flower Cup. Definitely a significant step up from the last game's Flower Cup. The standard here was definitely Frappe Snowland. I know this is a rare take, but I'm gonna roll with it. Starting off Super Circuit's Flower Cup is... Yep, you guessed it. Another Mario Circuit. And yeah, this one is not one of the best ones. It's a little bit more unique, but I don't know. I know I forgot to point this out in the last video, but my biggest gripe with Super Circuit is that the colors are just so washed out. Now I know that the GBA wasn't a powerhouse, and I know it was like that because it wasn't backlit, but it just feels off. Especially when you're playing it on Switch Online. But enough about that. This game's Mario Circuit is not good. Not terrible, but not the best. The layout's fine, the music is good, and the love boost found before the finish line at the junction is kinda neat. But I'm not really a fan of the fact that they put item boxes on a random spot in the off-road. But I don't know, it's just another Mario Circuit. Throw it in C tier and let's be done with it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a Boo Lake fan. I know it kinda has its fans, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's better than the last track for sure, but not by much. It's just a generic ghost track. I suppose the jumps and visuals are neat, but that's kind of it. And for a track named Boo Lake, there's no lake to be found anywhere. And that's a shame. And for that, it kinda drags this course down for me. So it's slightly better than the last course, but it's still a C tier course. Now Cheese Land, on the other hand, is a fun course. It's a play on the whole cheese on the moon idea. I think it pulls it off really well. But as much as I find this idea to be cool, we do kind of have another space course with Rainbow Road. But apart from that, the course is still fun. Yeah, it's slippery, and that probably is just my skill issue with this game coming in, but that doesn't really irk me that much. The turns are definitely trippy, but still manageable. The little Bowsers placed onto the track are really cute additions. I do like the elements where, similar to Chocolate Mountain, you go back to an earlier part of the track and you time one of the boost jumps wrong. And the music is really good too, even if I prefer 8's version, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, not much else to say. Cheese Land is going into mid-B tier. And to end off this game's Flower Cup is Bowser Castle 2. And it's alright actually. Definitely better than the SNES Bowser Castle 2 by a long shot. And it's definitely better than BC1, but probably not by much. I do like all the jumps this track has, although it kind of stinks that you can't trick up one of these. Not only make a cool sound effect, but again, that's neither here nor there. But the course itself is nice. Not there with Cheeseland, but it's still a solid course. So for that, it's gonna go slightly below Cheeseland in mid-B tier. And that was Super Circuit's Flower Cup. Cheeseland ended up being the supreme winner of this cup, with VC2 coming in at a close second, with Mario Circuit and Boo Lake just being the battle of mid. Kicking off Double Dash's Flower Cup is Mushroom Bridge. I think it's at this point where, for the most part, the Flower Cups end up being bangers. And Mushroom Bridge here is no exception. This is one of my favorite courses in the whole game. And it's definitely up there in terms of being one of the best traffic courses in the series. Admittedly, it's a bit simple, but it more than makes up for it with other elements. The cars make for a fun obstacle, especially the Wiggler bus. Driving up the side of the bridge makes for a fun moment, even if it's kind of tricky to stay on top of. And the bridge itself is an iconic set piece. And the music for this course is a bop as well. And I'm glad it shares its theme with a admittedly kind of better course. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, Mushroom Bridge gets low A, maybe high B tier. We'll see how I'm feeling once everything is over and done with. And also, rest in peace, Wiggler bus. You will be missed. Yep, we've got another Mario Circuit, folks. But here's the twist. This one's pretty good. Yeah, I'm serious. It's not a top tier track or anything, but this is honestly one of the better Mario Circuit courses out there. The layout is nice, the music is still banging. I do like how one part switches from the typical roads these Mario Circuit courses have to a dirt road. That's honestly a cool change of pace. And I guess it's also a neat tunnel, which does spruce things up a bit. And you gotta love how there's a chain jump towards the beginning of the track, which can make for a pretty cool shortcut either with a star or just some mushrooms. Although, it is kinda lame that he can't trick up the bombs and the bridge section at the end, but whatever. It's just my bias towards tricking in the later games at the DS. So yeah, we've got another solid Mario Circuit. So far it is between Mario Raceway and this in terms of what I prefer. So I'm just gonna place this right next to Mario Raceway in B tier, and we'll see how I'm feeling once everything is done. Oh, now we're getting into the thick of it now with the bangers, as we now have Daisy Cruiser. Man, what a great track this is. The idea of having to race on a cruise ship is such a genius idea on Nintendo's part. And I think it pulled it off really well. You have one part where you have to drive around a swimming pool, since underwater driving wasn't even conceited yet. You have a cool dining area with some moving tables, which, not gonna lie, that area feels kinda dry lighting-wise, but still cool. And then we have a choice to either stay on high ground, or go into an engine room and take a cannon and get a double item box. Although I have no idea why there are just light points at the end of the course, other than the purpose of running into them before hitting the finish. Yeah, it's no wonder why Nintendo removed them from future versions. But that doesn't stop this version from being great. The flower cups at this point are about to pop off now, and this is only the beginning, as Daisy Cruiser is getting a high A tier from me. And concluding Double Dash's Flower Cup is the one, the only, Waluigi Stadium. Now, you remember back in my Cars 2 review that I said that I loved the Thunder Hollow scene in that film? Well, take that, or any of the Thunder Hollow courses in Driven to Win, and dump some steroids onto it. even if this game came out 14 years before, but still. This right here really feels like you're in a mud derby. You have fake carbon piranha flats and pipes, you have fire rings, an audience standard you would typically find in a derby, and of course, an amazing song to complement with it, which shares its theme with another course we'll get to down the road. I don't know how Nintendo was able to pull off a derby-like race course within the Mario Kart series, but they absolutely did. This seriously is up there in terms of being the best course in the game, but we'll have to see. And this ain't the last Waluigi course we'll be talking about today, believe me. So yeah, given all that I've said, I think that this course has what it takes to be our very first S tier of the whole marathon, albeit on the low end and only barely. And that is Double Dash's Flower Cup. It was a close race, but Waluigi Stadium just barely takes the crown as the best Flower Cup course in this game. Daisy Cruiser though is not too far behind. On to DS's Flower Cup now, and you know what can be just as usually made as a Mario circuit? A desert course. And unfortunately, Desert Hills falls into that. It's not terrible, but I don't know. The music is nice, I guess. The Pokies and Fire Sticks make for a decent obstacle. The Mario Bros. 3 aesthetic is neat. The layer is at least passable. And at least it's not the worst track ever. But I don't know. I'm kind of stretching here in terms of things to say about the scores. So yeah, this is going to go into C tier. On a much more positive note though, up next, we have Delfino Square, our second Mario Sunshine related course. I really enjoy this course, from the fun music, to the layout, to its general aesthetic. Sure, it may not look like Isle Delfino, but it's at least trying to. Even if the custom VCP track does it better, but that's neither here nor there. By the way, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I don't recall the pinatas making this weird noise whenever you come across them. You know, you get what I mean. And gotta love going over the drawbridge in some part of the course, although it sucks that you can't trick over it yet. Well, whatever, it's fun regardless. So all in all, I think Delfino Square is easily an A-tier track for me. Waluigi Pinball is a truly phenomenal course. I mean, what is there to say about this course that literally everyone else has said about it? The music is amazing and an absolute jam. The layout is really damn fun. The pinballs make for a fun obstacle, and it literally captures the essence of a pinball machine to a T. And you gotta love the colors that this course is going for it. Oh, and you have to admire the unique sounds that are exclusive to this course. Like the custom item box sounds, the sounds when you change position, and the sounds when you leave the pinball table. Like, they are just orgasms, man. I know it may seem like I've not said that much, but I literally have said practically what everyone else has said. Whether it be the gameplay, the visuals, the theming, no matter what it is with this course, it's flawless. And I have no regrets as crowning this as the best course in Mario Kart DS. At the end of the DS Flower Cup is Shroom Ridge. Now this is how you do a traffic themed course for the Flower Cup. A nice aesthetic, but also making the cars not too hard to maneuver through. It's also just fun to play through. I know there's some people out there who consider this one forgettable, but I always found it to be fun. I like its aesthetic and layout, like I said. Plus, there's just something about being on the mountain roads that's just so vibey to me. It's almost as if you're going on some family holiday or something. Trust me, I should know, because there are some roads over the seas where I head to for my Wales holidays every so often. And the music is another bop. Even if it Deluxe does it better, but that's another story. So yeah, I really enjoy Shroom Ridge quite a bit. And honestly, it's another tough decision between low A and high B tier. So for now, until everything is all done and dusted, I'm gonna sell this in low A for now. And that is the DS Flower Cup. You guys all know what the best course for this cup is. Waluigi Pinball by a long shot. And honestly, if it weren't for Desert Hills being so mid, then we'd have the best Flower Cup in the series on our hands here. Starting off the Wii Flower Cup is, yet again, another Mario Circuit, as God intended. And this one's decent, but it does have some very similarities to Double Dash's Mario Circuit. I don't like this one as much as that, but it's still a kinda nice course to play on. I do like the ramp you can take if you have a mushroom. The change-up is a good enough obstacle, and I like how you can either risk going under the chomp or play it safe and go around it. The village scenery is lovely, especially the giant Peach's castle, and the music, while being reused from Luigi's Circuit in this game, is still very good. I like how this was the place for the award ceremony at the end of every cup, which is kinda neat, I guess. But besides that, yeah, it's another Mario Circuit. What else do you want me to say? But at least it gets to be a low B tier, unlike others.
You just got coconut mauled.
Here it is, the course that I've been ever so eager to revisit for this marathon. The all-time GOAT, that is Coconut Mall. Question is, does this still live up to be a phenomenal course? Again, what even is there to say about this course that literally everyone else on planet Earth has said about it? You got an incredible theming, an outstanding music piece that could easily fit right in the home of the 2D and 3D platformers, and it's literally a mall to a T. I love the background customers as well, as it makes for a cool little detail. You gotta love the off-road shortcut through one of the shafts. That never gets old. I also love the frantic feeling of trying to figure out which escalator to take. And I love the split path where you can either go on top and get a huge jump, or go on the bottom and kinda get a big jump, but not as much as the top. Still a fun time though. My only kind of gripe? I just wish it was later on in the cup selection, like maybe in a special cup or something. And I guess future versions kind of overshadow this one? I guess? But who am I to argue? It's Coconut Mall, for God's sake. It is an absolutely flawless track. Easily going into S++ tier without a doubt. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. Best track in the series, hands down. I rest my case. DK Summit asked the question, why you took the elements of both DK Mountain and DK Pass and mashed them together? Answer? You get a really fun course. Now yeah, those are literally the two things that I think of with this course, but that just makes it all the more fun. And this probably has my favorite uses of the half-pipes in the entire game, and probably the whole series. I mean, how can you not love just traversing up of them damn things? And I am so glad 8 Deluxe brought them back, but that's another story. I like Mushroom Gorge. This has the trickiest gaff jump to pull off, to which I am not going to attempt for this video, but it looks like it can be fun to pull off if given the chance. But yeah, everything else is really damn fun. You got the Trickable Bombs, which are so satisfying to go over. You got a fantastic music piece. And you got Snowboarding Shy Guys as well. Although there is one little gripe I have with this version of the course. Why is there a Mario statue when it's meant to be a DK course? But even with that, I think it's safe to say that we got ourselves a great course. So it's going right into S tier. So, bit of a story about this course. A friend of mine from college, who has played Mario Kart Wii, said the Wario's Gold Mine was just a difficulty spike in terms of a Flower Cup course. And while I do see where he's coming from with that doesn't stop this course from still being really fun. From the catchy music to the general layout being the roller coaster-like feelings of going up and down the ramps. But you do have to be careful from their minecarts, as they can be pretty deadly. At least in this version of the course. I do like the hidden shortcut in the mine section, which, that's honestly a nice little detail. I guess the swoopers make for a nice obstacle as well, but they don't really do much outside you bumping into them or slowing you down. But yeah, Wario's Gold Mine is a pretty fun course. It's pretty ironic that this course was brought into the Mario Kart series around the same time as the Great Discovery, which literally has Thomas going into a mine. Well, I don't think that was intentional on Nintendo's part. But regardless, this course is still getting an A tier from me. And that was the Wii Flower Cup. You guys all know what my favorite course from this cup is. Coconut Mall, hands down. But regardless, this cup is easily a contender for the best Flower Cup in the whole series. But we'll have to see what these final two cups have to offer. Oh, we are starting off with an absolute banger for the 3DS Flower Cup. And that is Woohoo Loop. Or Woohoo Island Loop, depending on where you're from. This was the first of two epic crossover tracks in this game. And it absolutely shows. Now yes, it is just straight roads, which we would see later on in most of the Tour City tracks. But like other courses before it more than makes up for it with its aesthetic. And also some neat elements, like the glider shortcuts you can take, and also adding some cars on the road that you have to try and dodge. And also a very tricky as hell shortcut, which you would definitely need to be on the right CC class to pull it off well. I feel like the Wii Sports Resort vibes carry this course for me. So much so that I think it deserves to be the first member of the S Plus tier. After that Wii Sports Resort hype though, we're now being brought back down to earth, as we have, yet again, another Mario circuit. But I'm not sure if this is a potential hot take, but this is a very good Mario circuit course. Yeah, I mean it. It may not do a whole lot, but I like that it's trying something a little bit different. I like the cherry blossom trees implemented here, and I appreciate the aspect of going into Vicious Castle that leads into a glider ramp in the end. It may not be much, but for Mario circuit standards, this one's unique. And I appreciate the pipe tunnel, even if Mario Raceway also uses it, which I forgot to mention is a neat element. But at least it makes it different by having a curve in it. And I like listening to the circuit theme when it's this course. So even if it's just another Mario circuit course, for what it does do, I think it works out quite well. So, we have an A-tier Mario circuit. Yeah, crazy, right? That just goes to show that, despite being a basic theme, it can do a little bit more than meets the eye, even if it's not much. Music Park, or Melody Motorway as we call it over here, is another really damn fun course. I'm surprised it took us this long to get a music-themed track, because I love me some good old songs to spruce up my day from anything really. From TV shows, movies, or even games like this. I love a lot of things about it. From the pianos you can go over, which changes the music as you go over it, which I find to be a super cool detail. The head bopping piranha plants, which change position every lap. And the section where you can choose to either stay grounded the whole time, or take a glider ramp. And playing a lot of AIDS version of the course, I do not remember them music note things being out of sync with the music and going as fast as they should. And God, I love the drum shortcut towards the end of the track, even if I don't take it all that much. And yeah, the music for this course is very good as well. So I think overall, Music Park is going to sit right in the S tier, albeit on the lower end. Nintendo really wanted to use their new gliding mechanic the best that they could for this game, didn't they? Regardless, Rock Mountain, or Alpine Pass as we call it over here in Europe, which is kind of a lame name, not gonna lie, is another very fun course. This is another one of those courses that feels vibey to me. The music is great, and I love how every section feels. Like, you've got a cave section, a huge gliding section which is the main highlight of this course, and the Rolling Rock section, which always nice to give Mario 64 a little bit of love with those things. And yeah, I have to say it, because I didn't say it with Mario Circuit. God, I love the new Super Mario Bros. Style mountains in the background. That's a nice touch for sure. So yeah, great theming, fun layout, good usage of the gliding mechanic, and some pretty nice visuals. I think Rock Mountain is easily going to be headed for a very high A tier. And there we have it, the 3DS Flower Cup. Woo Loop easily takes the cake as the best course from this cup. Honestly, these Flower Cups keep hitting with these bangers, and 7's Flower Cup is looking to be the best one in the series, at least in my opinion. Well, we still have one more cup to go, so we shall see if anything changes. And now we're on to the Wii U Flower Cup. And yep, we've got another Mario Circuit to tackle. And this one's actually alright. I think that the idea of this game's Mario Circuit being a Mobius strip is a neat idea. Admittedly, the layout isn't anything too special. It's literally just figure 8 circuits layout. But I think it being in the shape of an 8 because, well, it's Mario Kart 8 is kinda cute. The music though is a serious jam. Easily one of the best circuit songs, if not the best. Despite me listening to it a plethora of times for trying to do a time trial on 200cc for this course, but whatever. By the way, why in God's name was this picked to be a battle track in the original Wii U game? But again, that's neither here nor there. But all in all, not a terrible Mario Circuit by any means, but still above average one at that. So it's gonna settle in low B tier. Toad Harbor is another one of those courses that is carried by its vibes. I love the whole harbor feeling it has going for it. Although I feel like it is just that. But it's definitely not a bad course by any means. It's still fun in its own right. I love taking the shortcut with the boats, although in the footage I recorded, I didn't even bother to do that. I love the split path options where you can either go on top or stay on the lower ground after the boat shortcut bit. And same goes with the option of either taking the anti-gravity wall or stay on the lower ground. And there's even a neat boost path for the left-hand side. I like how the trams make for a unique obstacle. But I have to say this, you gotta love the Peach version of the Statue of Liberty in the background. Makes the place feel all the more lively aesthetically. Although, I do have two critiques about the course, although they're not really related to the gameplay, as that is still fun. One is, Why did the US remove the U in Harbor? Like, what was the reasoning behind that? Another is pretty major, and that is, again, why in God's green earth was this chosen as a battle map for the original Wii U battle mode? Seriously, what was Nintendo thinking there? But besides those, this course is still fun, so it's gonna land in low A tier. Up next, we have Twisted Mansion. And it's another quite interesting course to play on. Granted, it's not really up there in terms of Luigi's Mansion standards, but I don't know. There's something about it that I quite like. From the book shortcut at the beginning that you can only take if you have a mushroom, the anti-gravity moving floors, and even the underwater section, which, yeah, it's a little bit unnecessary, but it's not really that bad in the grand scheme of things. Plus, I do like tracks that have split path options, even if other tracks do it better, but still though. Of course, you got a really chilling music piece to go along with it, which is really great. And I do like the option to either take the top or the bottom during the glider section. And I like the ending bit with the moving statues, that's a cute detail. So, yeah, Twisted Mansion, while not up there with Luigi's Mansion, it's still an excellent course. So it's gonna sit in either low A or high B tier. Again, we'll see how I'm feeling once everything is all done and dusted with. And finally, to conclude the Wii U Flower Cup and this video is Shy Guy Falls. This course is easily the best of this cup by far. I mean, how can you not love the idea of driving up and down a waterfall? Like, this is probably the best usage of the anti-gravity gimmick so far. At least to me it is. And we also get the ever so iconic and cute Mining Shy Guys in its music, which, by the way, is another bop. The layer is fun as well, and it uses its theming to its advantage quite well. And I'm quite surprised that this wasn't chosen to be in Mario Kart World. In fact, none of the Wii U courses were picked. But again, that's another story. But regardless, this course is still fun, and is landing very solidly in A tier. And that was the Wii U Flower Cup. Shy Guy Balls definitely takes the cake in terms of being the best from this cup. In fact, I'd say this is one of the most strongest set of courses for a cup. Although I think 7 just barely takes the edge in terms of being the best flower cup in the series. At least in my opinion. And there we have it. Every flower cup that has been covered. Excluding Worlds because, again, I'm saving those courses for another video. And now, to answer the question posed in the title of this video, what is the best Flower Cup course? Well, I think it's obvious what it is. Yeah, it's Coconut Mall by far. I mean, what did you think it was gonna be? Waluigi Pinball, though, is a very close second. It's crazy, though, that the Flower Cup of all cups in the game would spawn my 2 picks for the best courses in the entire series. Though there are some runner-ups like Woohoo Loop, Daisy Cruiser, Waluigi Stadium, and Shy Guy Falls. But those don't even come close to the peaks of these 2 courses. And it's even more funny how much these Flower Cups have gone through over the years. From the agony of Bowser Castle 2 to the peaks of the likes of Coconut Mall and Waluigi Pinball. Crazy, right? But the fun isn't over yet, as next time we'll be covering the Star Cup courses. Which, if you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date and to not miss out on the newest content. Until next time, bye guys.